Good morning, everyone. All of you here in the sanctuary, as well as those of you joining us on YouTube, however far-flung you may be. We're glad that you're here. And so we are about to begin this wonderful service, this wonderful day, by going within. And so I simply allow my breath to carry me, knowing that Spirit is in every breath. There is this power presence within. And this is what I know. I am choosing love today. It is the power of love that powers the universe. And I allow that to fill my consciousness in a way that it affects, it even infects my way of being, my attitude, my expression, the way I look, the way I speak, and the way I greet the world. And knowing that I come from that idea, relationships and all the essences of life just simply come together in the most perfect way. And anytime there's any appearance of disharmony, I just simply know that Spirit guides me because I am using the idea of love. I am living and expressing love today. There is so much in the world that I want to know is all about healing, loving, being, and bringing love to the situation. There is absolutely nothing that love as the answer can't be. And so I am choosing that as a way and approach to life. I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful for everyone in this wonderful center. And I know this center is a beacon of light and love on Nob Hill, and knowing that it radiates out and is attracting all of those people that know that there's something here for them and something here for all of us all the time. So in gratitude for this moment and for the moments to come, I simply breathe in and know that it truly is all good. And I trust that Spirit shows me the way to find the good and understand more if I have any question about anything. Love is the answer. And I simply just say yes to that. In gratitude for all that is moving through my life and all of the lives around me, I simply say gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I release this word knowing that the creative principle is operating around and through and all about and takes this word and brings it into my experience as I know and say, and so it is. Well, I am going to be reading the announcements today from my iPhone, and so that's just the way it is. I think I can do two things at once with my hands, maybe. So I'm glad that you all are here, and we're going to share a number of cool things that are happening in the center and invite you to look at our activity table for more detail and maybe even a few experiences and happenings that are happening beyond the coming week. The big thing that is happening is the Science of Mind class that Reverend Gregory is going to be teaching on Thursdays from 6 to 8:30 p.m. That's on 6 Thursdays. So it is change your thinking, change your life. You've probably heard that expression before. So this is the nuts and bolts about how we get to do that. So take that as a beginning kind of course in Science of Mind, which gives you an opening to all of the different fundamental courses that are coming later. Change your thinking, change your life. So that is tomorrow. It is 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. starting on that. That's the 23rd tomorrow. This is it's a certificated class, of course. And Reverend Gregory calls it a prerequisite for courses. So let's apply the tools of Science of Mind through this class. Also tomorrow, and earlier in the day, Elaine Yuzuki, who is one of our practitioners, and she is a Spanish speaker, and she is hosting a book reading from Ernest Holmes, this thing called You. It's every Thursday. It's going to be 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And so be ready for that. Again, I keep saying, I bet all of us know someone who speaks Spanish who might really welcome as an invitation to this center to come and do that, because we welcome all. And this is such a great way if they're Spanish speakers or primarily Spanish speakers. For a full list of all of the activities, you can look at our newsletter, and if you're not receiving it weekly, sign up for that so you get that particular listing. And also you can look at our Science of Mind magazine, which has a number of activities. The flyers out there go for well into the next month, so be advised about that as well. If you took the visioning class with Reverend Gregory recently, and earned a certificate, then it's ready for you at the desk. Just ask Doris and she will hand it to you. Now, if you would like to donate to those people who are displaced by the fires, we have a number of ways that you can do that. The lists keep being revised because as some things happen, they don't have the same needs that they may have had 2 weeks ago. So check that list. That's what we are checking. And we make deliveries to the places that need them, the distribution center. So everything is going directly to that particular cause. We are right now collecting water, diapers, formula, wipes, baby food, non-perishable foods, and hygiene products. You notice almost all of these things are things that run out and need to be replaced. So things like blankets and such, most of them have what they need. And there are many, many people in need. Not just those people who have lost their homes, but there are centers locally who are helping people whose members lost their homes. So there are a lot of places that we are helping out, and it's going directly to where the needs are. Our Labyrinth Walk is going to be held on February the 6th. It's at 3:45 p.m. So that's next door in Richelieu Hall at 3:45. And it's always a wonderful experience if you haven't ever done it. I love to do it, and it's very quiet and it's very peaceful. The drumming circle will continue on February the 23rd as well. So both of those events are happening next month on the 23rd for drumming circle and on February the 6th for the Labyrinth Walk. And so we always want to take a moment to be grateful to the volunteers we have. They are just stunning at all of the things they do. Some are back there in the back working now, but they're working all the time, different days of the week doing different things. Our hospitality group is also a very powerful group of people. And if you're interested in helping out with that, just let us know, because we do this in rotation so that, spread the joy around. Let everybody have a chance. And so if you would like to take a Sunday and do that, then I guarantee you will be welcome. So thank you so much. And so now our speaker today is Reverend Gregory Toole. And so we welcome our new senior minister to the platform.
Thank you.
When do we stop saying new?
I'm not even,
yet,
that's what I was going to say. I'm not even sure I qualify as new
I don't know what
anymore.
new is exactly.
Good to see everyone in the room, and good to see all of you online, because there's only one. So we feel you, we see you, even if you're on YouTube. Not see you literally. We're not spying on you. So good to be here. And today I want to talk about the topic is relaxing into divine grace. And I love that Ruth is holding one of those bears. Do you all know that, you probably all know already that those bears are sitting here for the whole month, and we're like letting them absorb all the beautiful energy in our services, right? So they're absorbing all this love and all this energy and all the prayers and all the music, and then we're going to give them to children to have, with all that love infused in them. Isn't that cool? Yes. Called Bears of Love. So, relaxing into divine grace. Who feels relaxed today? You all feel relaxed? Yes, yes. In this world, it's easy, right, to get stressed and to get tight and to get tense. And in our humanness, when things are flying around, it's like, there can be this tendency to want to like grab on and try to be in control. And what if there is that within us that is already moving us? There's an infinite intelligence in us, an infinite power in us, an infinite creativity in us. And what if being still was a really powerful thing, right? There's a phrase, right? We've heard the phrase like don't just sit there, do something. But then we can flip that around and say, don't just do something, sit there, right? Because we can come to learn that being in the stillness and moving from stillness can be one of the most powerful things we could do. Moving from stillness, right? Because now the movement is more spontaneous from the stillness than where the mind is just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and then I got so much to do. How many of you are sometimes in that mode? Sometimes I can be in that mode, right? Oh, I got so much to do. I got so much to do. Oh, my God. Oh. But moving from stillness is where we take that time anyway, right? We take that time in the morning to do our meditation, and we really listen in, and we let ourselves be guided into action as opposed to that frenetic moving into action where sometimes, I don't know about you, sometimes when I'm in that space, I'm just kind of flailing. I'm not even really being so effective, right? I'm being all over the place. Whereas moving from stillness, there's the opportunity maybe to see more clearly. So it's like, oh, all this that seems to be all this and this and this and this, really there's just a couple things I need to, you know what I mean? Like we cut through all the confusion and have the clarity. We move from that clarity instead of moving from that confusion. Does that make any sense? Yeah, we start to get still because all this power and intelligence and wisdom is within us. And when we're in that frenetic energy, we kind of get disconnected from that. We're not truly disconnected from it because we can never really truly be disconnected from our source. But we can sort of block from our view and block from our experience that connection to source. So if we could just get still and listen in and allow, so we have this phrase, spiritual mind treatment is what we call our affirmative prayer, right? It was called spiritual mind treatment. And so there's this phrase, so in short, we'll say like, let's treat, which means let's treat our minds. Let's get clear of the truth, the greater truth of the situation. So there's a phrase that says, and many of you have probably heard this, right? What's the phrase that says, treat and move your feet? See, I knew it's going to be really awkward if no one responded. I had that happen one time in a workshop. I was like, keep on giving them a hint and giving them a hint and giving them a hint. And finally someone said, you better just tell us. But thank you for not having it be awkward this time. Yeah, we have a phrase, treat and move your feet. And in this mode of living in grace, living more in surrender, living more in allowing, have shifted that phrase to say, treat and allow your feet to be moved. Treat and allow your feet to be moved. Because treat and move your feet kind of puts you still back in that, like, I got to control this, I got to be in control, I got to do it. Whereas treat and allow your feet to be moved means you get still and you say, okay, I've prayed. Now what's mine to do? And could we be okay if there's nothing for us to do in that moment? Right? Because sometimes we feel like I just got to do something. I got to do something, right? And could we be okay if when we sit in that stillness and we tune in, that just says, be still. Just be still. Which means everything's already unfolding in perfect divine order and timing. Oftentimes we will get this like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to make this phone call, or I need to go over to here, or I need to go do this. But it's coming from that place of stillness. It's coming from that place of wholeness. It's coming from that place of peace. So it's not all that frenetic running around, right? Like I always say, there's a difference between rushing and moving fast. Those are two different things. Rushing is a state of consciousness. I can be moving fast because for me, I try to never rush. Whatever I'm doing, even if I'm so-called running late, I still try not to, I do my best not to rush, because rushing is a state of mind. Rushing is a state of being, and I don't want to be in that state of being. I want to be in a state of being, of peace, of knowing all is well. If I know all is well, I don't have to be in the consciousness of rushing, because rushing says something is off. Now, you might see me moving really fast, right? If I'm, something's about to start in a minute and I'm way over there, I'm probably going to be walking a lot faster, but I don't have to shift my consciousness to a consciousness of something is wrong and I'm now rushing and now I'm distorting my consciousness. We have a choice, right? We have a choice as to how we're going to be with it. So this relaxing into divine grace, it starts with relaxing. It starts with relaxing. It starts with letting go. It starts with allowing. It starts with also, starting with a lot of things, it starts with knowing, right? If I know that all is always in divine order, all is always in divine timing, I'm never out of divine order, I'm never out of divine timing, my life is never out of any of those things, then I can relax a little bit, right? Because isn't it the thing that makes us all frenetic that we start to make up a story that something's wrong? Something's off. Something needed to happen yesterday, but it didn't happen. But that's our human timing as opposed to divine timing. I want to be on divine timing, right? Not human timing, right? I've had many, many times where my human timing said, no, this should have happened already, or no, this should be like this, only to see that the divine timing was so much more wisdom in a divine timing than what was in my human timing. Which really, when I'm saying divine timing and divine knowing and divine versus human, it's not a separation of who we are. When I'm saying divine, it means your higher nature. It means my higher nature. It means that super consciousness that I am, that I'm tapping into that greater consciousness that I am, as opposed to just the human personality ego consciousness. Nothing wrong with the human personality ego. It just isn't as effective. It is. We're not fully. I don't know what the metaphor would be, but somehow we're not fully plugged in. You ever have your charger for your phone, and it's kind of like sort of plugged into the wall, but then you realize it's not all the way plugged in, and so your phone is dead. Even though you had the plug seemingly in the wall, your phone is dead. So it's like we want to really be fully plugged in. We want to be consciously, intentionally knowing from where and from whence we come. I want to invite you for just a moment, and you can do this at home too. Sometimes they say, don't try this at home. You can try this at home. When I used to tell some stories about my life, I would say that don't try this at home. Don't do what I did. But I want to just invite you for a moment, just for a moment, to just intentionally tense your body a little bit. Intentionally tense it, pull it in, constrict it, And then, because you don't want to stay there very long, take a nice breath and then relax. And then try the constriction again for a moment, where we just tighten up a little bit, maybe ball your fist, and then take a breath and relax. And I just invite us into that as a reminder of those two states, what it means, right? Because when we're in resistance, that's what that feels like. Resistance feels like constriction. And resistance is any time we're pushing against life as opposed to going with life. Right? There's a scripture where Jesus says, agree with thine adversary quickly. Agree with thine adversary quickly. That's a beautiful scripture. It's a beautiful teaching because it's really speaking to not necessarily even a person all the time. Sometimes, I think it directly was saying like someone who you're in battle with and you're resisting to agree quickly, but it also can be the circumstances and conditions of life, right? Like agree with this thing that you seem to be fighting with quickly because I can't afford to be in this state called resistance. Some people even have a bumper sticker on their car, if they're opposing something or government or whatever, they have a sticker that says resist. And I'm like, I don't know if you really want to do that. Are you sure you really want to do that? Because whatever we resist puts us out of the flow of life, right? We start to put up a wall. We start to constrict. Remember just a moment ago what it felt like to be constricted, right? Once we start to resist, we go into that constriction. Once we go into that constriction, we start to block the flow of good. We start to block the flow of all kinds of good. We start to block the flow of better relationships that can unfold. We start to block the flow of prosperity. We start to block the flow of our very health in our bodies. That's why when I see that bumper sticker, resist, I'm like, oh, I hope you know what you're doing because it really puts us out of the flow of life. So the invitation today really is to relax into this grace, relax into this knowing that there is really, truly infinite intelligence in us. There really is infinite wisdom in us. There really is infinite power in us. There really is infinite creativity in us. And if we could relax into that, now we get into what some have called the flow state, some have called being in the zone. And it's so beautiful, right? It's so beautiful. When beautiful divine solutions come through, it's very rarely on my human timing. In fact, oftentimes, and I've learned not to resist. It took me many, many years, but I've learned not to resist. But oftentimes, it will come in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, all kinds of brilliance. Brilliance will come in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, right? I'll be trying to, maybe it's a talk, maybe it's a workshop, maybe it's the solution to something I've been, trying to figure out or whatever. And there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm awakened and energy is flowing and this brilliance comes through. But if I'm stuck on human timing, right, and I go, no, God, no, wait. This is not a good time. This is 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm trying to be asleep here. And that's what I used to do. That's what I used to do. I would feel it coming up because I didn't fully understand what was happening. Like, I thought I just couldn't sleep, and I'm like, tossing and turning, fighting it, and all kind of stuff is flowing, but I'm like, stop. I'm trying to sleep. So could we be such in flow that we allow when the good is happening? It's also like with the opportunities that we're looking for, right? There was a time where I wanted to move to France. Annie, you didn't know that about me. Maybe. Annie is French. There was a time where I wanted to move to France. She's not hearing me. I'm talking about her and she's not. Oh, someone from France. They're going to let divine timing is happening. I'm saying I want to move to France, and Annie's from France. Someone's calling her from France. Here, we got a place. No, there was a time years ago when I first moved to California, actually, and I really wanted to go, not forever move to France, but I wanted to go live in France for a year or two or whatever. And an opportunity presented itself. I don't know if the opportunity would have ever panned out or not, right? Because I didn't pursue it. But this opportunity came about where a job that I was qualified for and the company that I worked for opened up in France. And I was like, no, this is not good timing. I got this going on. I got that going on. I got that going on. Well, that particular opportunity to move, I mean, it's still obviously open if I ever wanted to do it, but I'm not even have that desire anymore. Now just go visit. But it's like this divine timing. It's like the opportunity presents itself, and do we get into our heads and we resist? No, I want it to happen this way. I want it to happen that way. I don't want it to happen right now. How about next week? Or we're looking for a relationship, right? And the most beautiful, perfect person shows up, and we're like, no, maybe in 6 months. I got a lot going on right now. We get into our human timing as opposed to divine timing. Here the divine is bringing us the good. Longest relationship I ever had, I said one year, okay, I'm ready to meet my perfect partner. And the year came in, and this is where Spirit doesn't mess around. So it was like next year, writing down my intentions for the following year. I'm like, I'm ready to meet that perfect partner. January 1st, I meet this person. And then we end up being together for 12 years. Divine timing. When I said next year, I meant like sometime in the year, not don't rush it now. So that's the invitation today, is how could we relax into divine grace? And here's all the good showing up all around us, and could we relax enough, and could we start our day in the stillness, listening into what is mine to do today, instead of just starting today, I got this to do, I got that to do, I got that to do, I better get going, I better, could we just relax into the morning and say, what is mine to do today? And get that divine clarity, that peaceful, harmonious clarity, and then move from that place. Move from that place of clarity, that place of power, that place of divine wisdom, so that we're in the flow of divine timing. And we're just living in grace. And so much more ease. Thank you so much for being here today for our Wednesday service, Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. We're here every Wednesday. We did a meditation at 10:30, which we do every Wednesday as well. So may you go forth in your day today, just relaxing into divine grace. Relaxing into, there's a power within me, there's a presence within me that knows and can do all if I would just relax and allow. If I would just be in the flow as opposed to be in the constriction and I'm trying to control it all. Who's ready to be in the flow today? All right, let's say that. I am in the flow. I let go. I let go of all preconceived ideas. I let go of all the stuff I made up about what's going on. Are you sure? And I just relax into the flow. I allow my great life to unfold. I allow my greatest life to unfold. And so it is. Thank you all so much. Thank you. So let's do our offering here. Thank you, Ruth, for always being here for us for that on Wednesdays. And there's so many ways that you can give that are up there on the screen. You can text to 424-379-3733. You just text the amount, and boom, it's taken care of. You can also go to redondocsl.org/donate, or you can use the QR code, or you can just write a check, or you can, if you're in the room, you can put cash in. And those of you who are online on YouTube, all of these apply to you as well. So we invite you to support our community. If you get some value from this, we participate in circulation. Like we get some value, we give back. We get some value, we give back. So many of you are so generous in doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You keep us going. You allow us to do what we do. And I love what we do. And we're going to do more of what we do. And thank you for your support. Let's take our gift, hold it in our hand, maybe place it to our heart. If you're like me and you give online, you might just be holding your hands to your heart because you've already given online, or maybe you use some of those other mechanisms. And let's say our affirmation together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. Yes. So while we're doing the offering, we'll just take that moment to be in stillness, right? We won't rush into doing something else. We'll just take that moment. Let Ruth move around the room. For you at home watching, we're going to have some questions afterward, maybe some prayer requests. You also can send in a prayer request at home as well. You could put a comment at home, or you can ask a question from YouTube as well. So contemplate, is there a prayer request? Is there a question? Or is there something I want to share? Is there some divine wisdom that came through as I was listening to the talk today? Thank you so much, Ruth. And we've got, all right, Bettina right up here. We got Bettina. Oh, wait, sorry, we got someone right in the back already. And the mic is right next to her. So we're going to come up to you, Bettina. So we've got Margie back there. Uh-oh, I don't think it's working. Technology, it's all in divine timing. See, the divine solution. It must mean we were meant to take another little pause.
Thank you.
There we
it's
go.
It's on now. I would like, Reverend Gregory, I'd appreciate prayers for my daughter Cheryl, who's been undergoing treatment for cancer. She had chemotherapy, she's had radiation, she's had chemotherapy again now. Yes. And she had to go to the hospital last night because of pain.
Okay, well
but she's not there. She was able to come home. So.
Excellent. Well, we'll do a prayer for Cheryl.
Thank you.
Yes. And who else, while we're in the space of prayer, who else has a yes? Let's get the mic right down here. We got a prayer request, Vincent, right down here with Ann.
Thank you. Excuse me. I would like to have prayer for my friend Lauren, who has been volunteering at Founders for 1.5 years, doing marvelous things. She finds herself in need of housing and is looking for permanent housing or temporary housing, housing would be absolutely wonderful. She's a delightful person, and I would love to help her.
We will pray for Lauren as well. We've got Cheryl and Lauren. Any other prayer requests? Bettina, you got a prayer request? All right.
Also, my cousin Lee, she's 15 years old. She's going through her last treatment of chemo. Mm-hmm. And Gabby.
All right. Hang on with those. Get those names in here. Okay. Technology, work for me. Lauren and Gabby. What was the other one?
Lee.
And Lee.
Yes.
All right. And Bettina, what you got there?
I have another name, Lola.
Lola. Her name was Lola.
Lola is my mother-in-law. I would like to pray for finding the right care for her. And maybe we can pray for all these people affected by the fires.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Absolutely. Anyone else have a prayer request? All right. Well, we'll include you all in the prayer anyway because, there's always a prayer, right? There's always just knowing something greater about our lives. So let's take that within for a moment here. And so we just first remember that one presence, that one life, that one power, that all of life is one. All of life is one divine essence of wholeness, harmony, love, power, creativity, infinite intelligence, and wisdom. And that this one is that which expresses as my life, and it is that which expresses as each one of our lives who are part of the service today, as well as the life of Lauren, Gabby, Lee, Lola, and all the people affected by the fires here in Los Angeles area. And so knowing that we're all divine expressions of that one, I recognize that perfect pattern of life that is expressing as each one of us. I recognize that there is an infinite intelligence that made each one of us. There's an infinite intelligence that made our bodies, that made our lives, that made us. And that infinite intelligence knows how to remake and renew and restore us all the time. Just as our cells are constantly regenerating and renewing, that infinite intelligence, there's a perfect pattern of our body temple in the mind of God that has never been changed or diminished in any way by the circumstances and conditions of life. And so I know for each one who, Cheryl, for Gabby, for Lee, for Lola, for all of them, right now that their bodies are just healing. Right now, each cell, every organ, every function is rising into that vibration of wholeness and harmony that is its true nature, and anything that would seem to block that is right now dissolved. And so there's just a free flow of life and vitality through each one. And so I know right here and right now that healing is taking place, that wholeness is revealed and expressed, and I bless each one. And I know for Lauren that she is finding that perfect housing. That housing is also looking for her. There is perfect, whatever it may be, whether it be roommates or whether it be a landlord or whatever it may be, that perfect housing is also looking for her. For there is only one mind, and so where there is a divine idea for something, there is its fulfillment as well, right there. And so I speak my word and know that Lauren is just in the flow of life, and all opportunities are being drawn to her that is the perfect opportunity for her next living situation. And so for all of this, I know that it is done in the mind of God. I know that there is a creative medium, a law that responds to my word. And for this, I am just so grateful. I'm so grateful that it is done, and I let it be. I release this word, and we all establish it together with the words, and so it is. Yes. Thank you. Prayer is beautiful. Thanks for those requests. Who would like to ask a question or share something this morning? All right, let's go right up here to Lynn. Oh,
hi, Vincent. I was rushing to get here this morning, and first time I've come to a Wednesday, but I felt moved. I just was like, I have to go to church today.
I love it.
And now I know why. So thank you for your message.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thanks for being present here. Your presence made a difference here today as well. Sometimes we don't realize that. We think we're just amongst the crowd, one amongst the crowd. But every person who's here, your energy and your essence here makes the service different. So thank you. Thank you for co-creating what today is for all of us here. So who else would like to, we don't have to be shy here. We've got time for more questions or some insight that came to you as you were sitting there today. Who else would like to ask a question or share? Yes, Cheryl.
Good morning. I wake up a lot at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I say, "Oh, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. I just want to go back to sleep. Got 2 more hours." I won't do that anymore.
Yes. Yeah, sit up and meditate for a moment.
Okay.
And then go back to sleep.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
See
Thank
what
you.
might be coming in. Sometimes for me it'll keep me up for an hour. Like the other day it happened because I have a workshop I'm doing for this practitioner symposium that Reverend Catherine is putting on right here, and I'm doing a workshop, and some of it still wasn't fully orbed. And 3, 4 in the morning, I think it was 4 in the morning one day, it just all started coming in. So I'm sitting there, by the time I got done, it was like an hour. But it was all like really good stuff, you know? Yeah. Yes, Anne.
Well, I think that 3 and 4 in the morning thing is something that a lot of us have. And I have done various things with it. One is I would say, thank you so much for sharing. And I promise to be quiet during the day so I can hear all this, because now I really want to sleep, you know. So that's one thing that I've tried.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Just the other day it happened, and I'd seen something on a Netflix that moved me, but I didn't think of it having a personal effect. You know, it's something that I should listen to. And I woke up about 4 o'clock and went, oh my gosh. My daughter had shared something with me that was very important to her, but she had recuperated from it. It happened decades ago. And I felt like I listened, and I said I was really so sorry that that happened to her. And all, but I thought, when I woke up at 4, whenever it was, I thought, you know, there was something more that I needed, because what I got from the Netflix, I thought I need to, even though I didn't feel she was open to me taking her in my arms, you know, but I thought, that's what I feel I need to do. And so the next day or evening when I saw her, I mentioned how I had felt about her sharing, and that I really wanted to comfort her, and I did hug her. I didn't feel a total connection in that way. But later, the next day, she said, you know, what you said to me, she said, I don't know why I shared that with you. It's past, and I'm over it, and I dealt with it. She said, I don't know why it came up. But she said, what you said to me really made a difference. And wow, and I didn't even know it had at the time.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, that time is to be considered holy, you know,
Yes.
that 4 o'clock time.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Annie.
I just want to say that your leadership and your lessons have kind of changed a whole perspective of looking at how to live our life, and in peace, of course, but at the same time, it just takes stress away. It just changes your life. It really does. And I do want to thank you for that, because it's just everything is always the same. It kind of sense all of that change, and it's really very rewarding. So I do thank you.
You are so welcome, Annie. Thank you for that reflection. Anyone else want to ask a question or share something? Let's go to my friend up here.
Well, I wasn't going to share, but I've learned that when the instinct comes to raise my hand. And I want to be thankful to you and to the center. And I just got my visioning certificate. And I put it in my visioning notebook this morning. And what I love, I keep sharing with Anne, we've known each other forever. And I said, I'm so excited. I've learned I'm not in charge. And I love that so much, because what I learned in the visioning, to be in that quiet moment, and it comes through me. And I love that part, because then I have an assignment, and it's not my assignment that I thought up. And what happened with Anne just recently, we've been pondering this issue for many long months. And the solution, none of us, and she nor I, could have ever come up with a solution, and it's solved. So I love the through me, and I like move your feet. What was it?
Treat and allow your feet to be moved.
And when you said that, I went, yes, because that's so important, because one of my issues always was I was willing with a small w instead of willing and asking ahead. So that's what I've been learning. Thank you so much.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Beverly. Yeah, we distinguish between willfulness and willingness. You know, the willfulness is when we're in that control space, right? But we're wanting to be willing. All right, we got time for one more. Who's our final contestant on the, oh wait, I mean, who is it? I bet there must be someone else. There must be one more person out there. Yes, here we go. I knew someone.
I was introduced to Science of Mind 44 years ago, and it has made such a difference in my life. I've lived a very good life. I want everyone to know I'm 89 years old, and I walk 3 to 5 miles every day. And while I'm walking, I do my affirmations.
Yay.
And it makes a difference.
Yes.
Thank you. You're a gift to us.
You are so welcome, and what a blessing you are to. You're such a testament to this teaching. You know, you're living and breathing it. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. I'll hang around if anyone wants to come up and talk. Thank you. Thank you.